Good afternoon, baseball fans, and we welcome you to GoValiants.tv's broadcast of Manhattanville College Baseball. Today, the Valiants will take on MAC Freedom rival, the Misericordia University Cougars. Good afternoon, folks. Tyson Hagler coming to you live from Manhattanville Field, located on the campus of Manhattanville College in lovely Purchase, New York. A beautiful Thursday afternoon for some MAC Freedom baseball action between the Valiants and the Cougars in this all-important conference contest between Manhattanville and Misericordia. And speaking of the MAC Freedom, let's take a look at the standings. DeSales, the #1 team so far in the conference after the sweep last week against Misericordia. They're 14-4. The Cougars in second place at 13-5. Kings 11-7. Manhattanville 10-8. They currently hold the final spot in the MAC Freedom Tournament. Eastern's 8-10. Delaware Valley 6-12. FDU 6-12. And Wilkes 4-14. And here's the scenario if you're Manhattanville. If Eastern loses one game against Kings, then the Eagles will be out. Manhattanville will clinch the final spot in the conference tournament. But if Eastern somehow manages to sweep Kings, Manhattanville would have to win 2 against Misericordia, which you know would be a tough task. But that would be the only way Manhattanville would qualify. If Eastern sweeps and Manhattanville fails to get a victory against Misericordia, they would be out of the conference tournament. So taking a look at the overall series between these two squads, Manhattanville 10-22 all time against Misericordia. 4-4 in the last 8 matchups. No one has won back-to-back games in the last 8. Last season, the Valiants were 2-2 against the Cougars. In the regular season, they were 2-1 before following in the conference tournament. The Valiants were actually the only team in the regular season to win the series against the Cougars a year ago. So again, no, Misericordia a little bit better. They are 25-12 overall, 13-5 in MAC Freedom play. They've been receiving votes in all 3 Division III polls this week. They won 2 of their last 3 since the sweep against DeSales. They average over 6 runs a game on 9 hits while batting .298 as a team, while defensively giving up over 4 runs on 8 hits with opponents batting .255. Players to watch out today for Misericordia. They include Steve Wisensee, 375 batting average. That's tops on the lead. He's got 39 hits and 22 runs scores. Another player to watch out for is freshman Tyler Hobsefell, 348 batting average. That's good enough for second on the team. 46 hits. That leads the team, and a team high 26 RBIs in his rookie season. And another player to watch is Jeremy Jarma, 40 hits. That's good enough for second on the team. Leads the team in doubles with 12 and 25 RBIs. And we'll take a look at Manhattanville and their starters following the national anthem. We thank you for joining us here on GoValiants.tv for today's broadcast of Manhattanville College Baseball. National anthem played. We're just about to get underway here as the Valiants take on the Cougars in this all-important MAC freedom battle between Manhattanville and Misericordia. So now taking a look at the Valiants as you look at the starters for today's game. They've won 4 of their last 5 contests, including the big sweep against Wilkes earlier last week. The Valiants averaged 6 runs a game on 9 hits and bat .298, while their opponents score over 6 runs on 10 hits, batting at a .323. Players to watch out for today: 2 usuals and a little bit of a different face here. Of course, there's Luke Scoggins, who leads the team in batting average at .396, has a team high 53 hits, 29 runs. Senior Robbie Lynch, .323 batting average, a team high 6 dingers, and he's currently tied for the all-time lead in home runs with 26, so one more will give him another record in his prolific Manhattanville career. He also leads the team in RBIs with 33. And another player to watch out for, Joe Booker. If you can recall last year, Joe Booker had the big game-winning hit against Misericordia in the Valiants' 3-run rally in the bottom of the 7th to win the series against the Cougars. Booker, .285 batting average, 22 hits, and is third on the team in RBIs with 20 runs batted in. Pitching matchup today will feature senior versus juniors. Will be Anthony LaFaro squaring off against Tim Burek. Burek's 7-3 this year, a .270 ERA and 58 Ks to lead the squad. LaFaro 0-2 this year, an ERA of 7.22 and has 13 strikeouts this season. So we're about to get underway here, top of the first inning, as we take a look at the batting lineup for Misericordia. It will look like this. Connor Smith will be the catcher. Jeremy Ducatis will be in left field. Kenny Jarma will be at shortstop. Tyler Holzenfeld will be at first. Steve Weissen will be in right field. Cole Bixler will be the designated hitter. Parker Abate will be in center field. Brett Davis at second base. Billy Kerwin will be at third base, and Tim Burek will be on the mound. So we're ready to go here for today's contest between Manhattanville and Misericordia. Leadoff batter will be Smith. As LaFaro sets and fires for the opening pitch, and it'll be a called strike. Connor Smith, the sophomore catcher this season, currently batting .319. That's good enough for third on the team. 30 hits, 23 runs scored, 6 doubles, 15 runs batted in. As he'll pop this one up into the infield, Robbie Lynch appears to be under it, and Lynch makes a diving catch for out number 1. A little bit of a wind blowing in towards left field, and it might have caught that ball just at the last second, but Lynch able to snag that one for the first out of the contest. So one down here, top of the first inning, as it will now be Ducatis. Ducatis, a .301 average this season, 37 hits, 26 runs scored, 4 doubles, a triple, 18 runs batted in. Here's the pitch from LaFaro, in there for a called strike. Ducatis, the senior outfielder out of Oak Ridge, New Jersey. As that one's low and away for a called ball. First game of this series. This game was scheduled to be played tomorrow, but with the impending rain that's coming, as there's strike number 2 called, both teams electing to move it up a day, knowing you can't afford to miss a game here. And both teams want to be well rested going into the conference tournament, as this one will be sent towards deep right center field. Campana's under, and I believe Campana able to make the catch for out number 2. Nick Campana kept drifting towards the wall, but was able to make the catch for the second out. So 2 great diving catches by the Valiants to start out this contest. As this will bring up Jarma. You mentioned Kenny Jarma, a player to watch here today. 315 batting average, 26 runs scored. That's currently tied for second on the team lead. 40 hits. That's second on the squad. 12 doubles to lead the team. 2 home runs and 25 RBIs, which is also second on the team. As there's a called ball. Here's the pitch from LaFaro. That one outside for a called ball. Here's the pitch as LaFaro now finally able to get a strike. Quick update in the Eastern Kings game. Kings currently with a 1-0 lead against the Eagles in the top of the 3rd inning. As we mentioned, Eastern loses just 1 game in the 3-game series against Kings. That will eliminate them from the conference tournament race, and that will clinch the final spot for Manhattanville. Here's pitches. That one's just able to catch the inside corner for strike number 2. LaFaro looking to set down all 3 batters in order here in this inning. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be low for a called ball, so that'll be the walk. As I'll put a runner aboard for Misericordia. Two down here. As this will bring up Tyler Hobsefeld, the freshman, as he'll pop this one up towards left field, but foul. Hobsefeld in his rookie season off to a great start. 348 batting average. That's second on the team. He started every game. He has a team high 46 hits, 7 doubles, 3 triples, which leads the squad, 2 dingers, and a team high 26 runs batted in. Chance to add to that total if he can find a way to send Jarma home from first. And it's pretty impressive if you're a freshman, you're batting that number 4 slot. As that one's outside for a called ball. Top of the 1st inning, no score, runner first base after the walk to Jarma. Here's a pitch as this one will be sent through the gap, and that one's going to get through for the opening hit of the contest. Jarma is now going to try to race to third. There's the throw, not in time, as we're going to have runners on the corners. After some nice hitting by Hobsefeld, he sent that one past a diving Danny Gallagher. And was able to get through towards right field, and well, runners on the corners, still 2 outs up. As this will bring up Steve Wyzensi. Wyzensi, as we mentioned, leading the team in batting average at 345. He's played in every game this season. 22 runs scored, 39 hits, 7 doubles, a triple, 17 runs batted in. Here's the pitch as that one's in there for strike number 1. 0-1 will be the count to Wyzensi. Misericordia threatening here early in the first. LaFaro taking his time here, and now the ump will call time. I was going to say LaFaro took too long before delivering that pitch. And this won't be sent towards left field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. And it'll be an RBI single for Wyzensi, and it's an early 1-0 lead for Misericordia. So Wyzensi records the RBI single to put Misericordia up 1-0. As this will bring up junior designated hitter Cole Bixler. Bixler making only his 3rd start this season. Does have a .467 batting average, 7 hits and 15 at bats, 3 runs scored, 1 home run, and 7 runs batted in. So, nice 2-out rally so far as Bixler swings and misses at that one for a called strike. As LaFaro walked to Jarma on a 3-2 count. Hansenfeld was able to send Jarma to third after a single to right field, and then Wyzensi able to score Jarma from third for the opening run of the contest, as this one's fouled away for strike number 2. Now, as I mentioned, this is an important game for both squads. Misericordia trying to climb back and retake the number 1 seed in the conference tournament. Kind of a shocking sweep against DeSales, and it's pretty hard to get a sweep against anyone in this conference, let alone the defending conference champions, but DeSales has really been clicking as of late. As that one's going to go off of Bixler, a hit by pitch, and now bases are going to be loaded, so Valiants having some troubles getting out of this inning. The center fielder Parker Bade up to the plate. 30 hits, 23 runs scored, 2 doubles, and 13 runs batted in. A chance for Bade to add to that total. Here's the pitches down in there for a called strike. Robbie Lynch and Nick Campana made 2 diving plays here in the top of the first inning to get the first 2 outs, but a walk, 2 singles, and now a hit by pitch has kept the inning alive and have also brought a run across for Misericordia. As this one will be grounded, Tyne Riley, he'll throw this one over to second for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before Misericordia puts 1 run up on the board. We'll head to the bottom half of the first with Manhattanville trailing the Cougars 1-0. So Valiants will have to try to pick things up here and get the bats going early. As we take a look at Manhattanville's batting order here today. Danny Gallagher will start things off here at second base. followed by Nick Campana. He'll be in right field. Luke Scoggins in center field. Robbie Lynch, third base. John Delahanty in right field. Stephen Merrill will be the number 6 batter. He'll be at first. Joe Booker will be in left field. Peter Ianrelli will be the shortstop. Anthony Iannuzzi behind the plate. And Anthony LaFaro on the mound. So Gallagher will start things off here for Manhattanville. And another quick update. Still 1-0 Kings. In the bottom of the third, they are threatening with runners at first and second. Just one out in the inning, so a chance for the Monarchs to add to their lead. So as mentioned, the pitcher in today's contest will be number 10, Tim Burek. This will be his 9th start of the season. As mentioned, 7-3 this year. Most wins on the Misericordia pitching staff. 2.70 ERA, that's good enough for second on the team. 2 complete games and 2 shutouts as well. In 53 1/3 innings worked, he's given up just 45 hits, 23 runs, only 16 of those earned, 11 walks, 58 strikeouts. Opponent's batting average is at .218. And LaFaro, who we saw, gave up the first run of the contest coming into today, making his 5th start of the year. 7.22 ERA, 0-2 this year. And 28 2/3 innings worked. He's given up 38 hits, 25 runs, 23 of those earned, 21 walks, and 13 strikeouts. Opponent's batting average at a .322. Gallagher start things off here for Manhattanville here in the bottom of the first inning with the Valiants trailing by 1. Danny Gallagher has really come along as of late. .344 batting average, 30 runs scored, 42 hits, which is second on the team. 9 doubles, 11 runs batted in. As Gallagher will send this one to short. Shortstop fields it, throws it over to first for the opening out of the inning. As this will bring up Nick Campana. Campana with only his 9th start of the season, a .298 batting average, 14 hits and 47 at-bats, 8 runs scored, 4 runs batted in. Here's the pitch, as there'll be a called strike on Campana. 1-0 the lead for Misericordia here in the bottom of the first, and Campana will send this one a slow grounder fielded by the shortstop. Throws this one on the run, scooped up, and it's going to get past the first baseman. It'll actually go out of play, so Campana will trot on over to second. And the Valiants with a runner in scoring position with their best hitter up to the plate, Luke Scoggins. Scoggins on the year, a team best .396 batting average. That's actually top 10 in the conference as well. 53 hits, which leads the team, 29 runs scored. It's good enough for second on the squad. 8 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Yeah, the game-winning walk-off home run that gave the season sweep against Wilkes last Saturday on Senior Day. As I will say, Campana did indeed single to short, as it would have been a tough play with the speedy Campana on the base path, and then advanced to second on the throwing error. As there's a called strike on Luke Scoggins. The sophomore center fielder as we've mentioned all year, has done an excellent job of following up a great rookie season with an even better sophomore year. So it's outside for a called ball. Here's pitches. Scoggins will send this one up the middle for a base hit. They're going to send Campana home as the center fielder misplays that one, and Manhattanville's tied up the game. Luke Scoggins with the RBI up the middle, and the center fielder looks like was going to try to field it and throw it as soon as he got it, but he misplayed the ball, and that brought home Nick Campana as we're tied 1-1. It will go as an RBI for Scoggins, and they'll say an error against Misericordia. Sorry, the second error of the contest for the Cougars, as this will bring up Robbie Lynch. Lynch, the all-time total base leader and runs batted in leader in Manhattanville history, and currently tied for the career lead in home runs with 26 this year. That's second in the conference, only behind Chris Rebar, who has 10. 33 RBIs to lead the team this year for Robbie Lynch. As Lynch will chop at this one, and that one's going to get through for another base hit. They're going to keep Scoggins at third as he'll go for a single. Manhattanville doing some damage with the bats early as they're going to have a runner at first and third. The number 5 batter now for Manhattanville, and John Delahanty. And Delahanty with his best season for Manhattanville. .336 batting average on the year. He has 37 hits, 14 runs scored, 10 doubles, which is tied for the team lead with Lynch, and 19 runs batted in, which is 4th on the squad. So runners on the corners with Delahanty at the plate. One the score after Luke Scoggins' RBI single, as Delahanty will foul the first pitch away. One out here in the bottom of the first inning, 1-1 the score. Burek sets and fires, and he gets Delahanty chased up top for the called strike, and there's a throw down to second, and that one's going to get past the shortstop who could not field it, and that's going to bring Luke Scoggins in the score. Robbie Lynch will move to second, and Manhattanville with the 2-1 lead now. So already 3 errors against Misericordia in this first inning of play. As the Valiants now currently hold a 2-1 lead. Two down though, as Delahanty struck out on that one, and that'll bring up Stephen Merrill. Lynch currently standing at second base as he was able to advance. Here's pitches. That will be a called ball. The Valiants put 2 runs up here in the bottom of the first inning to take a 2-1 lead against Misericordia. Tyson Agler, glad to bring you today's coverage of Manhattanville baseball. And what could potentially be the final game of final series, for Manhattanville, depending on what happens between Eastern and Kings, as Merrill fouls that one back. A few things need to happen for Manhattanville to clinch the final spot in the MAC Freedom Tournament. Either a loss by Eastern and Kings in one of their 3 contests, or if Manhattanville could just sweep Misericordia, that could all, or win 2 games against Misericordia, that would also give them a spot. As Burrick walks Merrill to put a runner back at first. And this will bring up a face that makes Misericordia fans and players shake. Joe Booker. As we recall last year in what was a crazy bottom of the 7th, the Valiants, down by 3, were able to rally with 2 outs and got a game-winning RBI single from Joe Booker that brought John Delahanty home, and the Valiants celebrated the series victory against Misericordia. As there's a called strike, and Booker's been far too familiar with the heroics here this season as well. He had the game-time bases clearing 3 RBI double against Delaware Valley to tie up the contest. As now Lynch is going to take third base on an easy steal there by the seniors. He's added that to his repertoire this year. But get back to Joe Booker. He had 2 huge hits against Eastern as well to help the Valiants win that series too. So runners on the corners. Joe Booker this season, .265 batting average, 3rd most RBIs on the team with 20, only trailing Conklin by 2, and he could add to that total by trying to bring Lynch home. Here's the pitch, is down outside for a called ball. Merrill now moving up to second on the successful steal. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Manhattanville. And Booker will send this one down the left field line but foul. Here's the pitch to Booker, and Booker will send this one high in the air towards left center field. That will drop. Both runners will come around to score, and it's a 2 RBI single for Joe Booker as the Valiants really pile it on here in the bottom of the 1st. And Joe Booker continues to give the Cougars nightmares as he adds to Manhattanville's lead and now tied for 2nd on the team in RBIs with his 22nd run batted in, as he brings both Lynch and Merrill home to score. And Manhattanville, coming into the inning, trailed 1-0. They put 4 runs up here, and they're looking to add to it with Peter Ianarelli at the plate. Ianarelli, an excellent rookie campaign, .345 batting average, 29 hits, 20 runs scored, 7 doubles, 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in. So quick talk there between a few of the Misericordia players and Burek, as he's had trouble getting out of this inning, as Manhattanville has been all over Burek to start off this contest, and senior right-hander's last outing. Didn't even pitch a full inning, as DeSales was able to come away with a 6-1 victory against Misericordia, which did end up leading to the season sweep against the Cougars. Runner at first, 2 outs. You're in the bottom of the first inning. As now Booker going to try to take second. He's going to slide in, but he's going to slide right into the tag. As Misericordia will finally get out of the inning, but not before Manhattanville puts 4 runs on the board. Taking us into the second inning of play, Manhattanville leads Misericordia 4-1. Second inning play, Brett Davis start things off here for the Cougars, who trail by 3. And again, we continue to update you on Eastern Kings. 2-2 now the score in the bottom of the 4th inning. Monarchs are threatening as they have a runner on first with 2 outs. As there's a called ball to Davis. Davis on the year at .302 batting average, making his 18th start of the season. 13 hits, 14 runs scored, a double, and 6 runs batted in. As Davis will record a hit to left field, and the bats are really feeling it here in today's contest. As it'll be a leadoff single for Davis. As this bring up the third baseman, number 15, Billy Kerwine. As Kerwine will send this one towards foul territory. Merrill is under it, and he will make the catch for out number 1. Smith back up to bat. Popped up to Lynch in the last inning. As both teams here in the second inning will be going through their lineups. Runner at first base, 1 out. Smith at the plate. And Smith will send this one towards Merrill's way, but it will go foul. And Merrill will now try to get the runner out at second, and they will get him, and he'll go for a double play. Merrill was unable to come up with the initial grab And then he stepped on the bag at first, and the runner had to take off, and they're able to tag him out, so a double play there to end the inning. As Al now takes to the bottom of the second with Manhattanville looking to add to their lead as the Valiants up 4-1. Iannuzzi up to bat for Manhattanville. Following nine rallies, line out to first. Gallagher will be up after Iannuzzi's. That one's low for a called ball. Anthony Iannuzzi, only 3 hits this season, does have 2 runs scored, a double, and 3 runs batted in. As the senior catcher playing his final game here at Manhattanville Field, looking to make it a victory against the rival Cougars of Misericordia. As they'll go for strike number 3, so another strikeout there by Burek. As 2 down now in the inning. Back to the top of the lineup with Danny Gallagher. Gallagher grounded out to short in the last inning. First pitch Gallagher, called strike. Breck now gets strike 2 called against Gallagher, the junior second baseman. Steps back into the batter's box. Here's the pitch. Outside and away and low for a called ball. Here's a pitch from Burek. And they're going to call that one strike 3. Looked like it might have been a little bit outside, but the ump rings up Gallagher as Burek gets 2 strikeouts in the inning, and the Valiants go down in order. As this will take us to the top of the third with Manhattanville still leading by 3. Dakotas to lead things off here for the Cougars here in the top of the third inning. Dakotas flew out to right field in his first at bat. Here's pitch as Dakotas will now try to send this one the opposite way towards left field, but foul. Leadoff batter here in the top of the third inning with the Valiants leading by 3. So far, all the offense coming in the first inning of play. Misericordia with some timely 2-out inning, as there's strike 2 called against Dakotas. Put the Cougars up 1-0, but that was only momentarily, as Luke Scoggins was able to score Nick Campana. And then Joe Booker came up with a big 2 RBI single. And Scoggins also scoring on an error as well in that in the bottom of the first. That helped the Valiants lead by 3. Currently a 1-2 count against Dakotas. Here's the pitch from LaFaro. That one, I don't know if that would hit him or went for strike 3, and Iannuzzi was unable to squeeze it, but Dakotas jogs on down to first base and over runner aboard. We always mention how important it is that you get base runners on the paths, especially when trailing early. We have noticed Manhattanville has done a pretty good job this year of at least getting ducks on the pond, but have struggled with trying to bring them around this year. And defensively, that's been one of their probably key struggles this year, is trying to get out of innings and allowing teams like Misericordia did in the top of the first of keeping innings alive. That first one's low in the dirt for a called ball. As this is Jarma, who was walked and came around to score in his first at bat. As I will say, Dakotas was hit by that pitch, so like I said, it looked like it might have caught him. As Jarma's going to send this one deep towards right field. This one's going, and it's going to go off the fence. Jarma will trot all the way into second for a double, though, keep Dakotas at third. And Jarma adds to his team lead in doubles. Give him lucky number 13 on the year, and this will have runners at second and third, with only 1 out. Or excuse me, no outs in the inning. As Obi Hobsafel, who's the team leader in RBIs now at the plate, with a chance to add to that lead. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Runners at second and third. No outs here in the inning. As first pitch is low in the dirt. Great job by Iannuzzi to block that one. Hobsafel, as we mentioned, batting in that number 4 cleanup spot as a freshman. So unfortunately for Mac Freedom teams, you're going to have to see this kid for 3 more years. As he'll send this one towards the first base, but foul. Runners at second and third. Dakotas hit by a pitch, and Jarma with a double to right field. Cougars trying to cut into this deficit. Here's a pitch from LaFaro. This one will be sent towards Gallagher. Gallagher fields it, throws over to first for out number 1. Runners will move up a base, so it'll go as an RBI for Hobsefeller. And now just a 2-run lead for Manhattanville. Jarmo moving up to third on that as well. Wynesi back up. RBI single in his first at bat, so he'll foul the first pitch away. Here's a pitch from LaFaro. That one's in there for a called strike. Quick update, top of the 5th inning. Eastern now on top of Canes by a score of 4-2. As you mentioned, the Eagles just need to lose one of their 3 contests to the Monarchs, and that will clinch a spot for Manhattanville. As this one send towards the left field line and fair. As Wyzensi will have his second RBI single of the game, and now it's just down to a 1-run game. As that one was hugging that foul line, but was just able to stay in play. And Misericordia puts 2 runs up here on the board. In this 3rd inning play, and they're looking ahead too. It's still only 1 out. With Bixler up to bat, he was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. Bixler gets the signal from third base coach. He'll now step back into the batter's box. And they'll send this one in foul territory. Merrill looks to be under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Two down now as the Valiants looking to try to preserve this lead going into the bottom of the 3rd. This will bring a bait up. 0 for 1 today, a fly out in his first at bat. As runner's not going to take off Iannuzi with the throw, but it'll be not in time. As it will go for a steal for Wyzensi. And he'll now be in scoring position with the chance to try to tie this game. Bade steps back into the batter's box as LaFaro now steps off the mound. Cougars led by 3rd-year mentor Pete Egbert, assisted by Dave Gargone, Mike Mulvey, Dylan Mazzo, Kyle Lindsay, and Corey Vogelli. As a bait will send this one in towards right field, but it'll be caught by Merrill for out number 3. So 2 runs put up on the board by the Cougars in the top half of the 3rd, and that will take us to the bottom of the 3rd with Manhattanville looking to try to push their lead back up as it's now a 4-3 contest in favor of the Valiants. Campana lead things off here for Manhattanville. Here on the bottom of the third inning. Campana 1 for 1 today, came around to score in his first at bat. Down low in the dirt for a called ball. Here's the pitch to Campana. In there for strike number 2. Valiants led by longtime mentor Jeff Caulfield. Caulfield in his 13th season leading Manhattanville, as Campana will send this one towards center field, and the center fielder able to make the over-the-shoulder catch for out number 1. Caulfield assisted by Chris Guerin and 2 former athletes of Caulfield's Chris Nardozzi and Jeff Mosowitz. Scoggins back up to the plate for Manhattanville. First pitch Scoggins in there for strike 1. Scoggins singled, came around and scored, and was able to score Campana as well on an RBI. As Scoggins will send this one towards right field, as it will go for a single for Scoggins, as he's now perfect 2 for 2 today. And this will bring up Robbie Lynch. Lynch singled and scored his last time up, as the Valiants will have a runner aboard for the senior third baseman. Wind blowing right in towards left field, which is right where Lynch loves to hit it. As the ball is going to get past the catcher, and that's going to move Scoggins into scoring position, as he'll take second base. 1 down here in the bottom of the third inning. Valiants leading by 1. Burexter on the mound. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike. 1-1 will now be the count against Lynch. Behind, as Lynch, one of the smartest baseball players you'll ever talk to. Very high baseball IQ. Does a lot of film work and studies his opponents. And that's led off to his great success, as Lynch will send this one deep towards right center field. Center fielder is under, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Scoggins will move up to third base on the fly out to center field. This will bring up John Delahanty. Struck out his first time up. So the senior DH steps up to the plate. 2 outs. As Delahanty will send this one down the third base line, but foul. And Delahanty will once again foul this one away. Now down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Burek looking for the second time today to strike out Delahanty. He's got 3 Ks so far today. Looking for number 4 right here, as that one's up top for ball number 1. One-two pitch on the way. Now an outside, good job by the catcher to get out there to block that one, keeping Scoggins at third. Count all even, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the third. Valiants can clinch a spot in the Mac Freedom Tournament with a loss by Eastern, as Delahanty will ground out to short for the final out of the inning. As this will take us to the 4th inning of play with Manhattanville leading Misericordia 4-3. Thank you for joining us for today's broadcast of Manhattanville College Baseball, only on GoValiants.tv. Here in the top of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. Davis singled his first appearance. As that one's low and inside for a called ball. Here's a pitch from LaFaro. That'll be a called ball as well. There's the windup in the pitch from LaFaro. And this one will be sent towards right center field. And it will drop right in front of Luke Scoggins. It's Davis. Now 2 for 2 today with a single. As once again, leadoff batter aboard for Misericordia. Chance to try to tie this game. As this will bring him Kerwine, who flew out in his first at bat. No outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Tying run currently standing at first. Here's pitches. This one will be caught by Ian, really. Great job by the shortstop to sky up and grab that one and steal a base hit from Kerwine for out number 1. Smith back up to bat. Smith so far 0 for 2 today. Grounded out in his last at bat, flew out the first time up. Runner first, one down here in the fourth. That'll go for a called ball. Here's pitches. That one's alone in the dirt, but good job by Iannuzzi to block that one. Faro sets and fires. That one's in there for a called strike. Here's the pitch. This one will be sent towards right field, and that one's going to stay fair. Campano will quickly get this one in. They're going to send the runner to third, and runners will be on the corners after the single by Smith. Dakota's back up. He was hit by a pitch his last time up and came around to score. As the tying run just currently a base path away for Misericordia. As runner's now going to take off. Iannuzzi thought about the throw but opts against it, as now that'll take the force away from second. And both runners will be in scoring position as well now for Dakotas. And it looks like we might be getting some action down the Manhattanville bullpen. One out. Valiants lead by one. Cougars are threatening with runners at second and third. Someone's in there for a called strike. Here's a pitch by LaFaro. And this one popped up in towards left center field, and it'll drop. Booker trying to get this one in, but it will not come in time, as it will be an RBI single for Dakotas, and we got ourselves a tied game. So Dakotas with the RBI single to left field, as that one basically landed between three Valiants, Iannuzzi, Scoggins, and Booker. And now we got ourselves a tied contest. Misericordia put the first run up on the board. The Valiants responded with 4 runs in the bottom half of the first. And now the Cougars have scored the last 3 runs to tie this one up, and they're still looking to head to with Jarema up to bat. And he'll get this one through past Gallagher, and that'll bring another run across. And Jarma, he's now 2 for 2 today. 2 runs scored and given an RBI as well. As runners will once again be on the corners, and Misericordia back on top. And this will bring up Holtzefeld. He grounded out. Was able to push the run across for an RBI. Singled in his first at bat. As Jarman's not going to take off, they're going to put the run in. That ball's going to get past Ianrelli, and it's going to go in the center field in a costly error by the Valiants. As I'll bring another run across for Misericordia, and Jarma moves up to third. So Ianrelli attempt to throw out Jarma, who trying to steal second base, and Ianrelli was unable to come up with it. And that allowed Dakotas to score as well. And Jarma moving up to third. So the Cougars have now scored 5 unanswered runs. As this one will be sent towards first. Merrill having trouble feeling that one, but he is able to get it to LaFaro for the second out, but another RBI for Hobsefeld, as it's now 7-4 Misericordia. As this will bring up Wyzensi, who's a perfect 2 for 2 today with 2 RBIs. First time today, Wyzensi's not going to have anyone on the base pad to try to push across. So watch the first one sail in there for a called ball. And Wyzensi will send this one in for a base hit into right field, as he's now 3 for 3 today. And we'll see if head coach Jeff Caulfield makes the trot out to the mound, and looks like they're going to keep LaFaro in for now, as it's another single for Wyzensi. That gives him 3 on the day, as this will bring up Bixler. Flew out in his last time up. Here's pitches. Wyzensi will take off to second, and he'll easily take second, as that pitch was low and inside, and Iannuzzi just had to do a good job of not letting it get past him. So once again, runner in scoring position for Misericordia, as the Valiants are trying desperately to get out of this inning. There's pitch by LaFaro. Now that one's outside for a called ball. Two-0 the count to Bixler. Here's the pitches. Now LaFaro's able to get a strike. Here's a pitch by LaFaro. I'll go for a ball as well. And that'll go for ball number 4. So there's a walk, and it looks like Jeff Caulfield will make his way to the mound, and we'll see if that's the end of Anthony LaFaro's day. And looks like it is. So we'll get a new pitcher into the game. We'll take a quick break here on GoValiants.tv as the new pitcher warms up in Misericordia as runners at first and second, 2 outs, and they lead 7-4. Matt Golias into the game for Manhattanville. Bade at the plate. As Bade will foul this one back. The freshman Golias this season, making his 10th appearance, he's 0-3 with a 5.25 ERA. 24 innings pitched, he's given up 34 hits, 18 runs, 14 of these earned, 15 walks, 12 strikeouts. Opponents average 340 against Golias. As both runners are going to take off on the hit and run, this one popped up towards shallow center field and it's going to drop. As he'll go for an RBI single for Abate, and the inning continues. As it's been all Misericordia as of late. Make that 7 unanswered runs as Abate now gets into the hitting contest with the RBI single. So great call there on the hit and run by the Cougars as that pushes a run across. bring up Davis. Davis 2 for 2 today with a run scored. Singled earlier in this inning. As there's a called strike. Runners on the corners for the Cougars. As Goliath with a pickoff attempt towards first, but runner slides back safely. Runner at third staying put. Goliath sets and fires. And a big swing and a miss by Davis for a strike. Goliath once again checks the runner at first. He's back safely standing. Goliath now stepping off the mound as time is called. Trying to get out of this inning. And hopefully Manhattanville will get their bats going again. As now the runner will take off to second and he will steal safely. Iannuzzi not electing to throw that one. As now both runners will be in scoring position, and that takes the force out away from second. Davis looking to continue his hot streak at the plate, 2 for 2 today. So here's a pitch, and now it's in there for strike number 3. The Valiants finally get the inning over, but not before Misericordia takes the lead, as we'll head in to the bottom of the 4th with the Cougars leading Manhattanville now 8-4. Steve Merrill to lead things off here for the Valiants, looking to try to get the rally going here in the bottom of the 4th. Merrill on the day walked and came around to score. as he currently has a 2-0 count in his favor. Merrill chases up top for strike number 1. Here's pitching now. Merrill will try to drive this one up the middle, fielded by the shortstop. He'll throw this one over to first for out number 1. Joe Booker back up. A 2 RBI single in his first at bat. Was caught stealing though to end the inning. As Booker will send this one down the first base line. And a great catch by the first baseman as he reaches up to snag that one out of the air for out number 2. As the Valiants now have seen their bats go ice cold since pulling 4 up in the first inning, but a big key to that inning was 3 errors by the Misericordia defense as well, as Ian really tried squaring around for a bunt but pulls back. And really steps back into the batter's box, looking to try to keep the inning going for Manhattanville. Inside, but just able to catch the inside corner for a called strike. Ian really had to scoop his hips out of the way as it looked like it might have been just a bit inside, but the ump says it was just able to stay in the strike zone. Again looking to go inside, but that one is a called ball as it was low. Ian really flew out in his first attempt. That one's now low in the dirt for ball 4, so Ian really will induce the walk and he'll jog on down to first base. As this will bring up Anthony Iannuzzi. Or actually, excuse me, Tom Gilmartin will come to pinch hit for Iannuzzi. First pitch outside for a called ball. Gilmartin on the year, .222 average. In 9 at-bats, he has 2 hits. He has scored 4 runs and does have a triple this year. As Gilmartin flies out to end the inning. So that'll do it for the 4th inning of play as Misericordia will look to add to their 8-4 lead going into the 5th inning. You're watching Manhattanville Baseball here on GoValiants.tv. As this one will be popped up towards shallow center field. And it'll be caught by Scoggins for the first out of the inning. Let's bring up Connor Smith. Smith, last inning, singled and came around to score. Part of that huge fourth inning where the Cougars put 5 runs up on the board. As Smith will send this one to Ian Riley. He'll field it, throw it over to first for out number 2. So Valiants finally getting things going on the defensive end. And if they can get Dakotas out, it'll be the first time today that it'll be a 1-2-3 inning for the Cougars. Dakotas, though, has other plans in mind as he's 1 for 2 today, 2 runs scored, and an RBI single in his last at bat. Clay is still on the mound as he gets a called strike against Dakotas. There's pitches, that one's low and away for a called ball. Matt Coleman in behind the plate now for Manhattanville. Here's the pitch from the lefty, and that one up top for a called ball. Here's pitches. This one popped up. Coleman appears to be under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So as mentioned, for the first time today, Cougars go down in order as we'll head to the bottom half of the 5th with Manhattanville trailing by 4. Danny Gallagher lead things off here for Manhattanville. As first pitch called strike, and Burek got to give the kid a lot of credit. A little bit of a struggle there in the first inning, but like I mentioned, the defense not helping out the senior pitchers. They committed 3 errors, but Misericordia's really calmed themselves down. They've played some great defense as they get the ground out there to start off the inning. As it's a bring of Nick Campana Campana 1 for 2 with a run scored here today. As Campana will drive this one up the middle for a base hit. And this will bring up Manhattanville's best hitter so far today, Luke Scoggins, who's a perfect 2 for 2, a run scored and an RBI. So in that first inning of play, Manhattanville put 4 hits on the board. Campana with that single, with only Manhattanville's second hit since that 4th inning. Scoggins recording the other one, as like I said, Misericordia came out and just weren't able really to get things going. There's a few errors that led to some runs and kept the inning alive. That one's in there for a called strike. Once again, it looks like Breck really has control of his curveball, as a few times the Valiants have tried to scoot their hips out of the way and it's just been able to catch the inside corner for a called strike. That one goes up top for a called ball. Here's pitch from Burkett to Scoggins. He'll send this one up into center field and it'll be caught for out number 2. First time today, Scoggins will go down. And this will bring up senior Robbie Lynch. Lynch flew out his last at bat. He's 1 for 2 today with a run scored and 2 stolen bases. Lynch, as we mentioned, one of the most prolific careers here in Manhattanville history. He's been first team all conference all 3 years as a third baseman. He was the MAC Player of the Year a season ago. The all-time RBI and total base leader, is currently tied for first place in career home runs at 26, as Lynch will ground to short and they'll get the out at second, so that'll do it for the 5th inning of play. We'll head to the 6th with Misericordia still leading Manhattanville by a score of 8-4. Dreama to lead things off here for the Cougars here in the top of the 6th. Dreama, a perfect 2 for 2 today. 3 runs scored, an RBI and a double. And that's the kind of production you want to see out of your number 3 batter. As 3 players currently with multi-hits. Dreama Wisensee and Davis. Wisensee a perfect 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Holtzefeld also has 2 runs batted in as well as he continues to add to his team lead in that category. Scoggins and Campana so far the only 2 Valiants with 2 hits. Lynch and Booker each with a hit. Booker 2 RBIs, Scoggins with an RBI as well. As Dreamer will go for the walk. And leadoff runner aboard for Misericordia. As this will bring up Holtzefeld, who, as we mentioned, just 1 for 3 today, but does have 2 RBIs. He singled his first at bat, but 2 groundouts, but have been able to push runs across. As Holtzefeld will foul the first one away. Manhattanville baseball team, the only team still playing regular season contest this week. Women's lacrosse falling in the MAC Freedom Tournament yesterday by a score of 9-5 to Misericordia. A tightly contested game, but the Valiants just coming up short. Men's lacrosse season ended last weekend with a loss to Kings, and softball looking to defend their conference championship as they'll travel to Delaware Valley as Goliath is able to get the strikeout of Holtzefeld for a first out of the inning. As I was mentioning, softball will make the trip to Delaware Valley as the tournament was originally supposed to start Friday and continue on Saturday, but due to the rain that's supposed to be in Delaware Valley this weekend, they're forced to push it now back to Saturday, Sunday. Where the Valiants will look for their 3rd appearance in the NCAA tournament for the 3rd time in 4 years. As there's a called strike to Wisensee. Men's golf qualified for the NCAA tournament as well as they won their conference championship for the 2nd time in a row. So congratulations to the men's golfers. And women's golf wrapping up their season a few weeks ago with a 4th place finish at the MAC tournament. So quite a few spring teams having successful years, and men's baseball looking to continue their play as that pitch fouled away. And quick update, bottom of the 7th. Still a 6-4 lead for the Monarchs. So if they can get 6 more outs without surrendering any more runs, they will help Manhattanville clinch a spot in the MAC Freedom Tournament, and also Kings will clinch a spot as well. As Wisensee will send this one a slow grounder fielded by Gallagher. He'll throw it over to first, and they'll say they got him. Runner does advance to second, though, on the ground out. As this will bring up Bixler, who's 0 for 1 today. Bixler and Kerwine so far the only Cougars who have yet to record a hit today. Bixler, though, 0 for 1, a walk and a hit by pitch here in this contest. As Bixler swings and misses at that one for a called strike. Runner at second, 2 outs. And that one's going to get past Coleman. That's going to move the runner up to third. So we'll wait and see what they give that one, as it was in the dirt, so it might be a wild pitch potentially. And that is what they will credit, a wild pitch. As Dreamo moving up to third. As that pitch is in for a called ball. Goliath trying to get out of this inning unscathed. So here's the windup in the pitch for a called strike. 8-4 the lead for Misericordia. You're in the top of the sixth inning, 2 outs, runner at third. And Goliath able to get the K as Bixler goes down swinging for strike number 3, so that'll do it. For the top half of the sixth, we'll head to the bottom of the sixth as the Valiants look to try to get their bats going as they trail by 4. John Delahanty start things off here for Manhattanville. Delahanty so far 0 for 2 today as he looks for his first hit of the contest. And Delahanty will pop this one up. The pitcher has it, tries to throw it over to first, but it will be off the mark. As Delahanty will reach base safely to start off the inning. Would have been a tough play there by the pitcher, so I would imagine it would go as a single for Delahanty. And indeed will, as this will bring up Steve Merrill. Merrill grounded out. And his last at bat, currently 0 for 1 today with a run scored. As Merrill will foul this one out of play. Breck able to get that one in there for a called strike. Delahanty currently standing at first base after the single to start off the inning. Merrill at the plate. That one up and away for a called ball. And that one's low in the dirt, and that one's going to get past, or it will not get past the catcher, as he was able to block just enough of that one to send it down the first base line. So Delahanty will stay put at first. As that one's in there for strike number 3. Merrill goes down looking for the first out of the inning. And this will bring up Joe Booker. Booker, a 2 RBI single in his first at bat. Flew out his last time up, though. As Booker looks to continue his hot play against the Cougars. As we mentioned, coming into the game, Booker had the game-winning hit last year that gave the Valiants the series victory against Misericordia, the only Mac Freedom team to actually win a series against Misericordia last year. DeSales able to accomplish that feat this year. They actually swept Misericordia last weekend, as they're now in sole possession of first place. So we'll go for a called ball. Here's pitches, that one's blown away for ball 2. Here's pitches, Delahanty will send this one towards the right field line. Or excuse me, it was Booker that's selling down the right field line, and it'll be caught for the foul out. Now 2 down in the inning. Iannarelli back up. Walked his last time up. First pitch, Iannarelli, a called strike. Pick off attempt, but Delahanty back standing safely. Here's a called strike to Iannarelli. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Manhattanville trailing by 4. As Iannarelli will send this one towards the second baseman. He'll field it, throw it over to first for out number 3. So Valiants unable to do anything after the John Delahanty single. As we'll head to the 7th inning of play with Manhattanville trailing Misericordia by a score of 8-4. Dakota's able to bring the run around to score as Gallagher's unable to come up with the play on that one. As both runners come around and score, and it's now 10-4. Advantage Misericordia. And this will bring up Jurema. Who's gave Manhattanville fits all day here today. Jurema perfect 2 for 2 today, an RBI double, and 3 runs scored. Dakotas will get credit for both RBIs as it'll go down for a 2 RBI single. Like I said, it was a hard hit ground ball that Gallagher was unable to come up with. That one's just able to catch the inside corner for a called strike. 2 down, top of the 7th. Misericordia adds their lead, now make it 10-4 in favor of the Cougars. As Glaze's pickoff attempt unsuccessful as the runner's back safely. Here's pitch, runner takes off, and a foul ball as this one goes out of play. So Dakotas will have to trot back to first. Currently 2 strikes against Jurema. There's pitches, that one's low and away for a called ball. And once again, low and away for a ball. That'll be a full count now against Jurema. Here's pitch, and Jurema fouls this one back. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first. Glaze with the payoff pitch. And Jurema will drive this one towards left field. Booker, though, will be under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. Valiants need to get the bats going here if they want to try to rally and come up with a victory. They trail by 6 now, heading into the bottom of the 7th. Chris Conklin coming into the game to pinch hit for Manhattanville. So big at bat here for the senior Conklin. Here's the pitch by Burke, and it's in there for a called strike. Bottom of the 8th, it's currently a 6-6 ball game between Eastern and Kings. As we mentioned, a win by the Monarchs will clinch a spot for both Kings and Manhattanville in the Mac Freedom Tournament. A win by Eastern keeps the Eagles' hopes alive. They need a sweep against Kings to clinch what would be the number 3 seed. And then depending on what happens in the Manhattanville Misericordia series would determine the number 4 seed between the Valiants and the Monarchs. Conklin pinch hitting for Coleman. As Chris Conklin, the most versatile player on this Manhattanville lineup, has played every position in his career except pitcher and catcher. And right now he would be going behind the plate, but you would assume that Joe Silvestri will be taking the catching duties. He's outside for a called ball. And Conklin will send this one deep towards center field. Center fielder, though, is under it. And he'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Back to the top of the lineup with Danny Gallagher, who's so far 0 for 3 today. Strikeout and 2 groundouts on the day for Gallagher. Here's pitches. That one is high and inside for a called ball. Action currently in the Misericordia bullpen. Like I say, you gotta give these Cougars a lot of credit. Valiants put 4 runs up in the bottom of the first inning, and got 4 hits in that inning, but since then only 3 hits since then. As this one will go over the head of the right fielder for a base hit. And Danny Gallagher with his first hit of the day will be a double, as the Valiants will have a runner in scoring position after the Gallagher double. So make that now 4 hits for Manhattanville since the bottom of the first. And this will bring up Nick Campana, who is 2 for 3 today with a run scored, singled in his last at bat. And Campana trying to lay a bunt down, but nearly pops that one up. As Campana noticed that both the first and third baseman were playing back, so tried to take advantage of that play and trying to lay the bunt down, but unable to. First and third still playing back. Campana does have the wheels to beat out a throw if he can lay a bunt down. Now that one's high and inside for a called ball. One the count. Campana, and I'll take a swing at this one, fielded by the third baseman, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. And this will bring up Luke Scoggins. Scoggins 2 for 3 today, with a run scored and an RBI. And Scoggins trying to lay a bunt down. It's going to be fielded by Burek. He'll throw this one over to first, and they'll get Scoggins out. So that'll do it for the 7th inning play. Valiants will have to try to shut down the Misericordia offense and try to rally as they trail going into the 8th inning of play by a score of 10-4. Conklin will stay in the game. He'll move to left field while Joe Silvestri will be behind the plate for the Vines here in the 8th inning. Again, keeping you updated on the Eastern Kings game. Top of the 9th, 6-6 the score. Eagles do have a runner at first, as Misericordia will start off the inning with a ground out to Gallagher. 1 down. As this will bring up Wyzensi. Three for 4 today is Wyzensi. 2 RBIs, a run scored. As the Wyzensi, one of 2 players with 3 hits, and also 2 other players with at least 2 hits in this contest, as Misericordia just an excellent offensive output here in this game. Cougars 10 runs on 14 hits, 3 errors. Valiants 4 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. Here's the pitch, and that'll go for ball number 4. And it looks like head coach Jeff Caulfield's going to make his way out to the mound. Changing up from the traditional walk now to a jog now by Caulfield. So we'll see who the Valiants elect to bring into the game as Macalace's day has come to an end. New pitcher now into the game for Manhattanville after the walk, as Contrelli will now warm up for the Valiants, and we'll take a quick break here on GoValiants.tv while Contrelli warms up. Valiants trail 10-4 in the top of the 8th. Thomas Contrelli on the mound for Manhattanville. Contrelli with his 7th appearance of the year. He's 3-0 with a 3.63 ERA, which is the second lowest on the team. In 22 and 3rd innings pitch, he's given up 29 hits, 11 runs, only 9 of those earned, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, while opponents average of 3.19. Now the runner going to try to take off, and he will slide in safely as Ianrelli's unable to hold on to the ball. Would have been a close play, as it looked like if Ianrelli applied the tag, he might have been able to get out Wyzensi, but unable to hold on to it, so runner back in scoring position for the Cougars. Carlton now up to bat as he'll pinch it for Wixler. Sounds low in the dirt for a called ball. Carlton this season, 5 for 20 at the plate, 1 run scored, 2 doubles, and 7 runs batted in for Scott Carlton. As he'll now ground out to the pitcher for the second out of the inning. Runner does advance to third though. 2 down. As this went up about a RBI single in his last at bat. 2 down here in the top of the 8th. Valiants can't afford to go down much more. They won't have any chance to try to rally. As Merrill will make the catch for out number 3, so that'll do it. No damage done in that inning. Good pitching by Contrelli. He's able to get the final 2 outs. As we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Valiants have 6 outs to try to get 6 runs on the board as they trail 10-4. Elliott Ford now into the game for Tim Burkett, as he'll come in and look to slam the door shut against Manhattanville and collect the victory for Misericordia. Ford on the air with his 15th appearance. He's 1-2, 5.40 ERA. He has 3 saves this season in 21 2 2/3 innings. He's given up 30 hits, 14 runs, 13 of those earned, 3 walks, 16 strikeouts, and opponent's batting average is at .330. Here's pitches. This won't be sent down the right field line. The right fielder hustling, but it will go foul. On the Canes Eastern game, bottom of the 9th, 1 out runner at second. And now we got a final as Kyle Lupus gets the game-winning RBI single, and Kings has defeated Eastern, which means Manhattanville is going back to the MAC Freedom Tournament. So thanks to the Monarchs as they defeat the Eagles, and both teams locking up spots in the MAC Freedom Tournament, so they will continue play next weekend. And that is a nice gesture for Manhattanville, get the victory, or to get the clinch spot, but you still want to try to go in with some momentum, and if you can collect a few wins against Misericordia, that would definitely give you a big feather in your cap. As Lynch goes down looking on that one for strike 3, and this brings Delahanty back to the plate. Delahanty 1 for 3 today. Singled his last time up. He'll foul this one back. So as I mentioned, Kings with the 7-6 victory against Eastern clinches a spot for both the Monarchs and the Valiants in the MAC Freedom Tournament. So now both teams will be competing for the number 3 seed, as it'll be Misericordia, DeSales, Manhattanville, and Kings all partaking in the conference tournament. The same 4 teams that played last year in the MAC Freedom Tournament. Delahanty currently with 2 strikes against him. That one outside for a called ball, so be ball number 4, and Delahanty will jog on down to first base after the walk. As this will bring back up Stephen Merrill. Merrill so far 0 for 2 today. First pitch to Merrill, called ball. Corrigan now checking into the game. He'll pinch run for Delahanty as this one will be sent down the third base line, and it will be fair as Corrigan now going to try to hustle in third. He'll slide in safely as Merrill picks up his first hit of the day. It's a single by the freshman first baseman, and the Valiants will have ducks on the pond for Joe Silvestri. Silvestri on the year, a .231 batting average, 9 hits, 4 runs scored, a double, and 7 RBIs. So a big spot here for Silvestri. If he can somehow push a run across. As he'll watch the first pitch go in there for a called strike. 1 out, runners on the corners for the Valiants. Here's the pitch as the catcher, again, able to do a nice job of blocking that one, not let it get past him. Valiants with a chance to score for the first time since the bottom of the first inning, when Joe Booker hit a 2 RBI single to left field. As Silvestri will drive this one to third field by third baseman. They'll get the out at second, go for the double play. And looks like the Cougars will not get it. Silvestri is just able to beat out the throw. Runner will come around to score. So Manhattanville cutting into the deficit as Silvestri will get credit for the RBI. And this will bring up Peter Ianrilli, the shortstop. Ianrilli hitless here today. Silvestri picking up his 8th RBI of the season. As that one's in there for a called strike. Runner at first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Valiants are able to push a run across as Corrigan's able to score from third. Here's pitches. Ianrilli will hit this one to the second baseman. He'll toss it over to the shortstop covering the bag, and it'll be out number 3. So that'll do it for the 8th inning of play. We'll head to the 9th with Manhattanville now trailing by a score of 10-5. Few defensive changes here for Manhattanville here in this 9th inning of play. Nick Simmons now playing at third. John Cirillo will be at second base, and Luke Teebold will be in left field for Manhattanville. Contrelli still on the mound for the Valiants with Davis at the plate. Davis, who's had a very successful day for Misericordia. 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored in the number 8 position. The only position that has been unable to come up with the hit is the designated hitter, as Bixler was 0 for 2 and Carlton went 0 for 1 in his lone at bat. Otherwise, it has been a nice day if you've been a hitter for the Cougars. Valiants now looking just to play for some momentum, as they've clinched a spot in the MAC Freedom Tournament thanks to the walk-off victory by Kings, as Kyle Lupus was able to drive in the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 9th inning. As this one will be hit into right field for a base hit as Davis continues his hot play today. A leadoff single for Davis puts a runner at first to start off the ninth. This will bring up Billy Kerwin, singled in his last at bat for his first hit of the day. As Kerwin fouls this one away. No outs here in the top of the ninth, runner at first after Davis picks up his fourth hit of the contest. All four of Davis's hits have been singles. He has come around to score twice as well. Pitch from by Contrelli. And this one will get past Simmons for the single and will go into left field. Another base hit for the Cougars. Now put runners at first and second. Still no outs. Back to the top of the order with Connor Smith. Smith 1 for 5 today with a run scored. First pitch, Smith called strike. Pitch from Contrelli, and Smith will drive this one towards center field. Taking a few steps back is T-Bolt, and he makes the catch. Runner does advance from second to third, so they'll put runners on the corners. As actually Luke T-Bolt playing center field, Chris Conklin staying in left. As this will bring up Dakotas, who's had a very successful day at the plate. 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs, which is a game high. First pitch is this one's fouled back. And this one will be hit in the air towards left field. It will be caught by Conklin. Runner's going to try to tag up. Here's the throw, and it will not be at the plate as the runner will come around to score. So Dakotas picks up another RBI, give him 4 on the day with that sac fly to left field. And it's back up to a 6-run lead for the Cougars. Kenny Dreama back up. 2 for 3 today. Flew out in his last at bat. 3 runs scored. An RBI and a double on the day for Dreama. Runner at first, 2 down here in the ninth. Here's a pitch by Contrelli, and that's in there for a called strike. Contrelli sets and fires. And that'll be ball one, evens count up at 1 apiece. Oh, and also low for ball number 2. And there's a called strike, evens the count at 2 apiece. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 9th. Misericordia with an 11-5 lead against Manhattanville. They're in the final game at Manhattanville Field for the 2017 season. Here's the pitch as this one will be hit in towards right field for a base hit. The runner from first will go all the way to third. And the inning stays alive as Jarima continues his strong plays. He's now 3 for 4 at the plate. Otzefeld back up. Looking at his numbers, you would see, 1 for 5. Not a great day from your number 4 hitter, but he does have 2 RBIs. As T-Bolt cheating towards right field as there's a giant gap between T-Bolt and Conklin in center field. So if Hopsfeld could somehow drive this one towards center field, that might bring both runners in. That one's low and inside for a called ball. Holtzapfel looking for his first hit since the top of the first inning. He's been hitless since then. Has been able to drive in 2 runs though. Here's a pitch from Contrelli. And this won't be hit in the air but out of play. Here's the pitch from Contrelli, and that one inside. Good job by Silvestri to keep that one from getting to the backstop. So I'll keep the runner at third. Here's the pitch, runner from first takes off, and this won't be hit. Fielded by the second baseman, Cirillo, and they'll throw the runner out at first. Misericordia puts another run back up on the board as they'll head in just 3 outs away from collecting the victory against Manhattanville. The Valiants will try to rally as they trail 11-5 in the bottom of the 9th. Conklin will lead things off here for the Valiants, as Conklin will pop this one up towards shallow right field. Right fielder is under and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Now 2 away from Misericordia collecting the victory. As mentioned, if the Cougars do hold on to this victory, it'll be the first time that either of the teams are able to get 2 consecutive victories in the last 9 meetings. As this will bring up John Cirillo. So takes the first one for a called ball. Cirillo batting .500 on the year, 3 for 6 at the plate with a run scored and RBI. Here's pitches. That one's just able to catch the outside corner for strike 1. 1-1 the count to Cirillo. Valiants trail 11-5, but not all is lost here, folks. As we mentioned, Manhattanville clinching yet another spot in the MAC Freedom Tournament and give that now another team in the spring that has clinched a spot in MAC Freedom play. Softball will look to defend their conference title this weekend when they travel to Delaware Valley. We mentioned women's lacrosse falling yesterday to Misericordia in the semifinals of the MAC Freedom Tournament, as Cirillo is able to draw the walk. Men's golf claiming their second straight MAC Freedom Championship. Last weekend, women's golf finishing 4th in the conference championship meet. And track and field will be participating in their conference meet as well this weekend as well. So a very successful spring, I would say, for Manhattanville College Athletics, as baseball will continue their season and these seniors will get to play some more baseball. And it's always a great feeling when you know that you can continue your play past the guaranteed season. But we'll see if these seniors can end with a conference title to complete their 4 years here at Manhattanville. There's a called strike. Campana up 2 for 4 today with a run scored. Flew out in his last attempt, as Campana and Scoggins, the only players with multiple hits here today. For Misericordia, they got 5 players that have at least 2 hits in this contest. Runner at first base, 1 out. Here's the pitches. Campana will foul this one away. As now Cirillo with a great jump, and he'll take second base easily, but he'll go for a walk. So Campana will trot on down to first base, and they'll put 2 runners in are on the base paths for Manhattanville, with a runner now in scoring position. Luke T-Bolt now up for the first time here today. T-Bolt at .245 batting average, 13 hits, 7 runs scored, 2 doubles, a triple, and 3 runs batted in his rookie campaign. So watch the first pitch going there for a called strike. Action in the Misericordia bullpen just in case Ford gets in trouble, as this one will be popped up to the shortstop for out number 2. Valiants now down to their final out of the contest. Manhattanville looking for some more magic here today, as this will bring up Nick Simmons. Simmons 3 for 17 this season with 3 runs scored and 4 ribbies. As he'll send this one towards the third base side, and that will go past a diving third baseman, and they'll keep Cirillo at third, and the bases will be loaded for Manhattanville. So give Simmons his 4th hit of the season. As we'll see who the Valiants send up. As Delahanty was in this position, but was pinch hit for Corrigan, and Corrigan will stay at the position, so he'll look to keep the game alive, as it'll be a called strike against Corrigan. Corrigan 1 for 5 this year, 4 runs scored and 1 RBI. And Corrigan going around on that one for strike number 2. Valiants down to their final strike here in this contest. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And that one's in there for strike number 3, and that will do it as Misericordia collects the victory against Manhattanville by a score of 11-5. Cougars get the win against the Valiants. As Misericordia defeats Manhattanville, as we said, by a score of 11-5. That will make the Cougars now 26-12 overall, 14-5 in MAC Freedom play, while the Valiants will drop to 18-20 overall, 10-9 in MAC Freedom play. But good news, though, if you're a Manhattanville fan, the Valiants have clinched a spot in the MAC Freedom tournament thanks to the bat of Kyle Lupus, as he was able to drive in the game-winning run for Kings in the bottom of the 9th to defeat Eastern. So Valiants will be continuing play next weekend in the MAC Freedom Tournament. They'll look for some momentum as they look to defeat Misericordia this weekend and try to collect the series victory against the Cougars. So that'll do it here for Manhattanville Field as the Valiants fall to Misericordia by a score of 11-5. We thank you for joining us for today's broadcast of Manhattanville College Baseball only on GoValiants.tv. Make sure to check out the recap and the stats at GoValiants.com. For GoValiants.tv, this is Tyson Nagler signing out. I'd like to thank Casey Shermick for the live stats for today's game and Alexa Gersebex for the camera work in today's contest. And for the final time, we'll sign out here from Manhattanville Field. Just want to say thank you to all the Manhattanville faithful fans that have tuned into the broadcast the past 2 years. It's been a fun ride, and a special thanks to our athletes who have played their hearts out and brought some great moments here on GoValiants.tv. So for the last time, folks, this is Tyson Nagler signing out. Thank you for joining us for today's broadcast of Manhattanville College Baseball as Misericordia defeats Manhattanville 11-5, but the Valiants will be dancing. They're going to the MAC Freedom Tournament. Thank you, folks, for tuning in, and have a great day.